Hey there, YouTube fans. How you going, man? Just for your interest, I wanted to share my lab values with you. These are in Latvian, but let's see. Essentially, they're not really good as far as the HbA1c goes, which was 12.73. I've been having some major issues lately. The theory was it could be my thyroid after being sick. But the doctor said differently. He said it could be from weight loss, which is interesting, and gluconeogenesis, which is when your liver makes more glucose. Um, so let's see, the plasma glucose, which is what I turned up with without even eating from basically 10:30 the night before, was still higher at 11.02. I often have the dawn phenomena where my blood sugar goes higher in the morning for whatever reason. The fasting insulin, this is really good. It was 16.1, and the reference ranges there you see is 3 to 25. So it's in the normal range. That's good. And then the C peptide was very encouraging. That's C peptide, I believe, is a protein. I just heard it is made the same amount with insulin. So it's easier for them to measure the C peptide rather than measuring the insulin because it's 1-to-1 ratio. Anyway, it was 2.95, which means that my pancreas, which makes the insulin, is doing okay. Thank God. So what this points to in my case is significant insulin resistance. So I asked ChatGPT how you get rid of the insulin resistance, and this is what I call it she said. The HOMA-IR is 7.9. So I said, let's see, the biggest levers are continued weight loss. I lost 10 kilos, and ironically, it didn't seem to do much. Ironically, it was worse. I don't know what was going on there, but it's actually better now. I'm using a constant glucose monitor. If I get a chance, I'll talk about it because it's new for me. This new constant glucose monitor. I'll see if I can do a review on it. Um, So substantially, if you lose weight 5 to 10%, it will improve the insulin sensitivity, particularly reducing liver and visceral fat, the fat inside you. You already lost considerable weight. Yeah, I lost 10 kilograms, which is like 22 pounds. Reduce the carbohydrate load that produces a big spike. So be careful of the carbs and cutting. You don't necessarily need zero carbohydrate, but cutting back particularly on sugar, juice, sweets, refined cereals, bread, and large carbohydrate portions reduces how much glucose your insulin has to deal with. So when you wear a constant glucose monitor, the good thing is you can see exactly what a particular meal did to your blood sugar. So I had two Bounty bars the other night, and it went off the charts into the red, like 350 plus in the American standard. Luckily, I'm back to using the Australian standard. Movement after eating, which is what Italians do, by the way. They go for the passeggiata, a little walk. Even 10 to 15 minutes of easy walking after meals can increase glucose uptake by skeletal muscle through mechanisms that don't depend entirely on insulin. Given my own chronic fatigue syndrome, I'd keep this within what you know you can tolerate. Um, Resistance training, so that's a big one. I forgot about that. I've gone back to the gym. If tolerated, it's particularly useful because muscle is a major glucose sink. Maintaining muscle, building muscle, improves insulin sensitivity, even independently of weight loss. Sleep and sleep apnea treatment, yes, that makes perfect sense. Get good sleep, treat your sleep apnea with a CPAP, which I do. Medication, Jardiance lowers glucose mainly by getting the kidneys to excrete glucose. It doesn't fix insulin directly. I take now roughly about 7.5 milligrams I can seem to tolerate. Acarbose, which is glucose reduces carbohydrate absorption, the rate of carbohydrate absorption, and metformin is the classic insulin sensitizing drug. Unfortunately, I can't tolerate it. So, particularly encouraging for me is a C-peptide test of 2.95, which is normal, which means that my pancreas is working, like I said. So the biggest problem is the 12.73 HbA1c, but the good news is I can see immediately now that with a constant glucose monitor on my arm that my blood sugars are much, much, much better. They're in the green most of the time. So especially if I be careful with what I eat. I hope that helps somebody out there. Let me know your story. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Class dismissed. Teacher Sal out. Make sure you check with your own doctor before you do anything. Of course, that's what I did. That's why I got the blood test done. And with one last point before I go, I said to my friend that I was able to make decisions with titrating my medicines, which I did check with a doctor, by increasing berberine, for example, in my case. I will try to do an updated meds list, what I take, and then taking a little bit more Jardiance and taking another tablet of glucobay 100 milligrams 3 times a day. I did all those things, and then I got my blood sugar into the normal ranges. My assumption is that I may actually have to reduce some medicines in the future, hopefully, especially if I keep going to gym and put some muscle on again. But anyway, for now, it's a lot better. And I guarantee that HbA1c will be a lot lower next time I have a look at it. Anyway, I hope that helps somebody out there. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Teach Sal out. God bless you. Ciao.